I'm Backroad Buddies, and the video we want to share with you today is about our electronic gadgets. So we thought we'd share all the electronic gadgets that we travel with, and hopefully it'll inspire you or give you some ideas, or you might find something helpful or not. We'll find out. So these items are in no particular order, just kind of a list of what all we take with us. Now the first thing that we always have on our packing list is our iPhones. Now you would think you wouldn't forget your iPhones, but we have it on our checklist just to make sure, in the fury of getting out on the road, that you don't forget it. Now that includes all of the charging cables, and we actually, see if I can find it here. Oh, here. We actually also travel with, this is a Anker Power Core little spare battery. This is helpful if we're about to go on a hike and realize we forgot to charge our iPhones, or just we are running low on power in the van and we need to charge something. This is a nice little thing. We leave this plugged in all the time in the van, so it's always powered and ready to go. So item 2 is the WeBoost cell booster. So here's the actual unit, and then so there's an antenna on the roof, and then it amplifies the signal and then rebroadcasts it inside the van here. It won't amplify a signal that doesn't exist, but when you have a weak signal, it really comes in handy to be able to boost that. Item 3 is the Verizon Jetpack. So we have a grandfathered unlimited data plan with Verizon via this Jetpack. So between this and our phones are AT&T, we usually can get a cell signal between the two of them. Now that being said, when we did our Alaska trip this season 4, Verizon plan did not work at all in Canada, so we relied on our AT&T service on our phones in Canada. Item 4 is our laptops. Well, actually now I'm the only one that travels with the laptop since Keith retired from his part-time work on the road, that he doesn't carry his laptop. He actually carries an iPad with him, which comes in handy, and you might see that show up again in our tips and tricks. But I carry a laptop. Of course, make sure you have all the power cords and everything, but I can't live without it if you want to keep on getting these blog posts and videos, and so I'm using that quite a bit. So item 5 kind of goes along with the laptop. It's kind of all the accessories I carry with it. Especially when I'm editing video, I do not like using just the touchpad on the laptop. I actually carry a wireless keyboard, a wireless mouse, along with a little mouse pad. I also always have 2 external hard drives. One, I put all of the raw video clips on here, along with the backup of the pictures and blog posts. And then I have a second hard drive as a backup. So whenever I offload footage, I first put it on here, I copy it onto the backup. So hard drives can go bad, they can get corrupted. I actually had one get corrupted on me. So having a backup so you don't miss any of these wonderful videos is kind of essential for me. The other thing that goes along with editing video is sound. I'm not one that likes putting things in my ears, so I actually have headphones that fully cover, so I can edit videos and not bother Keith or our neighboring campers. So that's kind of essential equipment for me. Item 6 is a portable monitor. This I really love. It is thin, light, it fits right in my laptop bag, and it does not have a power cord. It just connects via USB C, I guess, USB-C directly from the monitor to my laptop. So if I'm working on posting videos and I want two screens to work with, this actually, we've tried using like a little iPhone stand to prop it up too, but we found that most of the time, I don't know if you can see this, it's got like a little flap and it just, for the most part, it'll just stay up like this. So I can have two screens, but what's also helpful is in the van, the two comfortable seats that we sit in most of the time in the living space there face each other. So if we want to watch the same YouTube video, for example, we kind of need two screens. So I'll pull up the video on my laptop, have that facing me, and mirror it on the external monitor facing Keith, and then we can both watch the same video at the same time. Item 7 is a Garmin Inreach Mini. Now this is mainly for an SOS device, so this connects via satellite. But this actually provides more than just the SOS feature on there, which we like to do. I mean, that gives us some ease of mind when we're going on long hikes in remote areas, or even when we were driving up to Alaska this past summer, that we do have an emergency capability even without cell service. Now we actually use this quite a bit. The plan we have has unlimited preset messages, so I forget how many presets you get, I think like 5. We have 3 of them that we have preset in there. One is starting adventure or drive, one is ending adventure or drive, and one is we're just checking in and we're okay. We send those when we are changing locations from one campground to the next, so we'll send the one out when we start and another one out when we end. Same thing when we're going on hikes. And those messages get sent to our 2 adult children. And it also, along with those messages, sends our GPS location. So if they find that they haven't heard from us in a while, or we start something and we don't end it, they can try to contact us. And if they can't get a hold of us, and they can send actually a message back to the Garmin via satellite, so we don't necessarily have to have cell service. But then they know to notify the authorities and try to find us. So that gives us a lot more peace of mind when we're out in remote areas. Oh, and another nice feature of this is we can get weather reports for where we are. So this was especially nice when you're up in an area you don't have cell service, but you'd like to know, is it going to rain today? What's the temperatures are going to be? There's kind of a generic free weather forecast that you can get, and then if you want a more detailed report, you can, I think it's like $1 per request. You can request a detailed weather report, and that actually came in handy on our trip up to Alaska. Item 8 is a Bluetooth speaker. This happens to be a Sony, I believe. And we like using this for those rainy days or long evenings where you're in the van and you just want to play some music or listen to a podcast. This has great sound. It's a nice little small device to have with some nice audio quality. Item 9 is a TPMS system. So that's a tire pressure monitoring system. So the one we have, you actually install these little sensors on the valve stem of your tires, and then there's a unit inside. So here's the unit we have, and this right now I just turned it on, so it's trying to sense the tires. It's connected wirelessly, and once it gets connected, it'll report the pressure and the temperature of each tire. So this is really nice to know when there's about to be a problem before it's a real problem, like a blowout. So if it looks like one of the tires is running hot or high or low pressure. Low pressure may mean we've got a leak in one of our tires. So hopefully we catch it before it becomes a major issue. It can really cause some damage or safety if we have a blowout on the road. Okay, if you notice these numbers up here, these are the pressure ranges of our tires, front and back, and now you can actually hear that. We're sitting, it's kind of cold out, so a lot of times we may wait to turn this on until we get onto the road. But that's the alarm that sounds because it's outside. One of the tires is outside of the acceptable range that is set, so it'll alarm if the pressure is too high, too low, or the temperature is too high or too low. So there you can see this is the pressure, and on the right was the temperature of the tire. So item 10 is what's called Blue Driver. Now this is a device. It plugs into your port underneath. I don't know if you can see where we are. Underneath your dash is a port to plug that in. And what this does is read your engine codes. So if you get an error, usually the errors that you get on the Ford aren't very descriptive of what's really wrong. And so you can actually go, there's an app on the phone. So here's the phone app. I don't know if you can see it real well. I've got too much glare. But you can read the error codes on the Ford chassis. It gives a more detailed description and what to do about each code that comes up. You can clear them and see if they come back. But it's just a nice little handy thing for a Ford chassis. So this is item 11. This is a Bluetooth audio jack, and it goes right in the 12-volt socket. And what it does, I mean, it has some USB ports here, so you don't lose your ability there on the socket. But this actually connects to the radio. So
normal voltage.
So it's broadcasting to the
Bluetooth connection success.
Yeah, if you heard that, it's connecting to the, it's broadcasting basically a radio station inside your vehicle to your radio on your car, and then you connect it to your phone, and so if you heard it connect, so it's connected on my phone here. And then what that allows me to do is actually, if we're doing directions somewhere, let's do that. So if I put in directions, alright, and do a start.
Head on Rivera Street, then make a U-turn.
So you'll hear that the audio
turn right to stay on Rivera Street, then turn left onto Fern Avenue.
So you'll hear the directions.
Bandelier National Monument may close within 1 hour of when you arrive.
Okay, so yeah, so then the audio from the directions on Google Maps will be on our Ford radio. So that comes in handy. Now there's a couple drawbacks to this. One is if there happens to be a radio station, I mean, we have this set to 88.7 right now. No, we don't come across it very often. There's normally not a radio station there, but every now and then we pick up a radio station. So we just listen to a radio station every now and then. The other drawback with the system is we cannot listen to a radio station other than the one we have preset. Another radio station on our radio at the same time, but we can, use the, play music from our iPhone through the audio jack and have music or podcast or something that way. And last but not least, item 12, and this is kind of another essential one for me, is my cameras and all the accessories that go with that. So I've actually reduced how much I carry. You know, I usually carry a power shot, external mic. I've got, this is actually my spare one, so I travel with a spare one. That's how much I like that power shot. And the one I normally use is what I'm recording this with. It has an external mic and it's sitting on a tripod, so I carry that with me. I carry a GoPro with a little shorty stick. I have some other videos out there that kind of explain all the equipment I carry, so check those out. I won't go into a lot of details, but make sure you've got all the connecting cables and spare batteries and spare SD cards and all that kind of gear that goes along with it. And also any GoPro mounts you might want to shoot whatever you want to on your trips. So that's it. It's kind of a short and sweet video. I just wanted to get some ideas out there. I actually wrote this post up quite a while ago and hadn't got the video out. So I hope you found some of it useful. Thanks for watching. If you want more details about our electronic gadgets, look in the description below. There's a link to our related blog posts, so check that out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. Ta-ta for now.